Hello guys, and welcome back to the kitchen. Today we are doing that plum pectin and then sugar plum fairy spice butter. So I do a quart of water for every pound of fruit. So I've got 8 quarts of water since I've got 8 pounds of fruit, and I'm going to add a quarter cup of lemon juice because it helps prevent your fruit from turning brown. And then all I'm going to do with all 8 pounds, and I always start on the bottom, right, plum top up here and the bottom. And then I gently cut down till you get to that pit. Back, and it twists just like that. And you see that? Your seed will then should just pop out. You might have to do a little bit of cutting depending upon how ripe your fruit is. I'm going to have to cut these pits out a little differently because that's in there tight. You just basically go around, cut out the pit, put the plum in the water, and get it all cut up. That's all I'm going to do. We'll be back when all 8 pounds are cut up and into the water. There you go, you guys. We've got all 8 pounds sliced, pit removed, and into the 8 quarts of water. Now I know this looks like a lot more than 8 quarts, because this is a 16 quart Cuisinart, but you gotta take into mind all those plums take up room and push the water up. So now what we do is we turn it on high, we put the lid on it, and we boil it for about an hour to an hour and a half until the plums just fall and crumble apart when you push on them with a potato masher. So I'll bring you back for all of that. Alright guys, you see that? It's up to a really good boil, and if I don't get this lid off, see that pink beautiful foam? It's going to boil over. Alright, now that it's up to a full hard rolling boil, take the lid off and we let it keep boiling for, now that it's up, we start the timer and we start boiling for an hour to an hour and a half until it just mushes apart. But as you can see, it's already mushing apart, and the foam had all come up. It's been boiling already for nearly 45 minutes. And taking off the lid gives it a chance to breathe. It'll be about 45 minutes before it gets to that foaming up to your lid point. But we just let it keep going for an hour and a half. Well, for me it's 45 minutes, but for you, as soon as it gets up to a boil, you start keeping track of it. You check it at an hour, and then you check it at an hour and 15, and then you check it at an hour and a half. Our goal is to have it completely turn to mush whenever you take a, yeah, see, that's not, there's still form to that. We're going to take a potato masher and mash it really good. As you can see, the color is really starting to come through beautifully. So, I'm just going to keep letting it go, keep letting it boil. Now remember, we started with 8 quarts, 1 quart per pound, but it will boil down a good quart and a half to even possibly 2 quarts of water during the boiling process. That is okay. And that is what we want. We're making pectin out of this. You can make plum juice. But we're making pectin, so the more water that gets boiled out, the better. Alright guys, we're going to keep letting it go, and I'll be back. There we have it, you guys. Look at that beautiful dark rich red color. And as you can see, when I try to stir it, the plums have turned into plum mush. Yes, there's skin in there. The skin and all of this mush will be sent through my Ninja to make sure that all the skin gets good and cut up and broken down. So all I'm going to do is turn this off, let it sit for just a couple of minutes, not long, just a couple of minutes, and then we're going to send it through a jelly strainer and save the juice and make pectin. We'll be back, you guys. Now all I'm going to do is take and run it through my jelly strainer. All that plum mush out and strain it. Now, you don't have to do 8 pounds. You can do 4 pounds or even 2 pounds. You just don't get as much pectin. You know, the less plums you have, the less pectin you get. So it's 1 quart of water per pound of plums. Alright guys, I'm going to keep straining this and we'll be back when we're all done. Now I can tell you right now, 8 pounds will not, it'll come close, but it won't fill up my jelly bag here. I've done this quite a few times. Most of the time all I do is can that juice right there. I'll strain the water, or I mean strain the plums from the quote-unquote water. And then I'll put all of it back, all the liquid back into the pot and add 2 cups of sugar, and then I'll process it in the pressure canner for 75 minutes for pints, or 75 minutes for quarts, 50 minutes for pints, 60 minutes for pints. I'll have to look that up and make sure that you get the right times if you're making juice. But somebody wanted me to show them how I make the pectin all the way down to pectin form. When I make my plum juice into juice, I do that because then I use the plum juice for either pectin when I run out of my apple pectin come the middle of winter. I'll open up several jars of the plum juice and put it in a crock pot. The sugar won't cause any issues, and I will cook it down in a crock pot for 12 hours and then can the what's left at the bottom for my pectin. Alright guys, I'm going to keep doing this and we'll be back. Then we put half of the plum juice in the crock pot and we put the other half away. I always only do half at a time so that it's not overloaded. And then we put it in the crock pot, or in the base of the crock pot, turn it on high and let it cook down for 12 hours. And when it's cooked down, we'll be back for you to watch me can it up. And there it is, you guys. It's been 12 hours on high, so we're just going to turn it off, take off the lid, and we're going to let it sit for about an hour to an hour and a half till it cools down, and we're going to put it in our jars. Now I have cleaned and baked and sterilized my jars so they'll be ready to go. Alright guys, we'll be back. Alright guys, it has been an hour since this has cooled down. Now as you can see, there's a skin and a skim on the sides. At least I hope you can see it. Yeah, you see that skin That skimming on the side, just like with the apple pectin, we want to, that is the pectin. This is the pectin on the side, that is the pectin floating around on the top. We want to make sure we stir it up really, really well. The foaming is not a big deal. So we want to make sure we get all that pectin stirred up good, as even as we can possibly get it, and then we dish it up into our jars. But first, we're going to let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes so all those bubbles can go down, and then we'll put it in our jars. We'll be back, you guys. Alright guys, now not all of the foam goes away. It is very normal for apple pectin and especially plum pectin to have a little bit of foam. And then all I do is put it into 8-ounce jars. Fill it up. And that's all there is to it. Now I'm going to do another round of plum pectin. So this next one's probably going to be way smaller than the first one. But we'll see. Alright guys, I'm going to get these ladled in, and then I'll get the lids on them, and then I'm going to send these through the processor. And I'm going to process these for 25 minutes. Now, I'm not going to take you with as I process these, but I will take you with when I process my next round. So, I'm going to wash this up, I'm going to get these closed up, and I'm going to process these for 25 minutes. And then I'll be back when I do my next round and process that round that comes after this. And then we will come back again at the end when I have everything all together.